You are in the mix with D.Hall and the People Show. Listen. Yo. This is a J. York production. You are in the mix with D.Hall and the People Show.
This is Travis Scott.
You got it locked with D.Hall on the weekend, baby. Ready? And initiate a J. York production. J. York production.
You are in the mix with D.Hall and the People Show. This is a J. York production.
Facebook family.
Hey, I'm Ashley Braswell, a local comedian from Charlotte.
The announcer Walter Waite.
Good evening to everyone. Glad to have y'all aboard tonight. We are glad to be here. I am D.Hall, the host of the D.Hall People Show. And we're back once again. Here it is on a Wednesday, and we are here with you. I want to thank y'all for joining us right now and being a part of what we do. Tonight is a little bit of connection tonight that we have on with comedian Tiffany Barb. And first of all, I want to say thank my Heavenly Father for letting me be able to come on and speak to you again as we talk and being here in front of you. As we talk, this video is the works of talk and displaying discussion. This is an online talk show that educates an adult audience, and parental advisory is advised. Some things may not be censored and not edited for children. So just want to let y'all get that out there and let you know that be careful with your children and what we may say up here, because it may not be edited and censored. Good evening to everybody. Once again, thank y'all for coming on. We got a guest coming on right now, and I'll get ready to bring her in, and glad to have her in. She's a part of what we are doing here, as all guests are. There's a little connection here tonight, and we'll talk about that as we bring her on. Here we go, y'all. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
That's great. That's great. First and foremost, as I just spoke with the audience, I thank the Lord, for letting us be able to do another show, and
Amen.
we're gonna speak a little bit with you here shortly, because we have a little connection, but we're gonna talk about that as the show go on. But first and foremost, I want you to tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Well, my name is comedian T.BARB. My government is, like you said, Tiffany Barber. But that's where T.BARB comes from. I'm a comedian straight out of the 313, also known as the D, also known as Detroit. I have a special on Amazon Prime. I've been in the comedy game for quite some time. I'm an author, so I have two books out. I'm also a vegan chef. I was a social worker for 14 years, and I quit my job and stepped out on faith. Is what I call it, faith over fear,
Right.
and went for my dreams as a comedian. I'm a retired hood rat, and all of those things. So a single mom, a
You
businesswoman, a serial entrepreneur, just a little bit of everything.
little bit of everything, and then we're going to
Yeah.
talk about those few things that you are, and you are from the same city that I am from, and schooling and all that good stuff, which we'll touch a little bit about as we talk. Glad to have you on tonight. Want to say hello to all my fans, and well, I won't say fans, but people that look at me all the time.
They're your fans, or you can call them your friends. FRANS, your friends.
Okay. Hello to Clarence McLean. Clarence McLean is out of the I think it's a Maryland DC area. He is
Oh, what up, though?
yeah, he's a interviewer also.
Okay.
Yeah, he does a lot of the interviewing in sports and all that. So he's on with us tonight. And I thank the brother for coming on because he shows me a lot of love and a lot of respect, and I appreciate him coming on. Also, we have Lindell Jones out of Georgia. Thank him for coming on. I've been knowing him for
What up, though?
yeah. What up, bro? Been knowing him for quite some time. But as we begin to talk, you know, you grew up in your life, and you grew up in Detroit. What was it like for you being in the Big D?
Well, it's a little different. That's why I ended up writing my first book, which is called Faith Over Fear Tales of Retired Hood Rat. Because not only was I raised in Detroit, but I came from humble beginnings, as you would say. My parents met fresh out of prison,
Mm-hmm.
in a prison vocational program, a lot of drug addiction, a lot of mental illness. So I was
Mm-hmm.
raised in a neighborhood called Joy Road, which D.Hall, you know a little bit about Joy Road.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Uh, one of my comedy brothers say Joy Road, the only street with no joy. I know, but it actually was. Um, just a lot going on. Of course, I'm an 80s baby, so that was that whole
Oh,
crack epidemic. But I was able to get through all that. I went to college on my own, so I'm an HBCU graduate. Shout out to Dillard University in New Orleans. So I
wow.
went to college on my own. I decided that I didn't want to live that lifestyle. I broke the generational curse of incarceration. Me and my sister would have been the third generation to be incarcerated in our
Yeah.
family,
Okay.
and we broke that curse. I went from hood rat because I was big hood rat. Now y'all don't want to know. Bye bye bye. Got them hands now. Beat you down. And I retired. That's where retired hood rat come from. Don't forget, relapse a part of recovery. So I
Right.
retired from being a hood rat. Went on to get a college degree, get an MBA, do all those things, be a social worker, and then
Gotcha.
here I am now.
Here you
Quit
are
all
now.
that,
Quit all that.
and now I'm a comedian. But growing up in Detroit was great. I'm a true Detroiter. I still live in Detroit. I'm based in Detroit, and of course, this is
That's
where my
great.
heart is. But it's rough.
Yes, it
It's
is.
cold in the D. Don't
Yeah,
now. If you
yeah.
a little Rudy Poo, you might want to stay where you from.
There you
But
go. There you go.
but Detroit, home of the fashion, the Gators, all that kind of stuff. So Detroit is the place to be. Motown. I mean, it has a amazing legacy that I was
Yeah,
able to stand on. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from the hood, so you
There
know
you
what I'm saying. I could fight. That's what that means.
go. Exactly. It's a tough city, I'll tell you. I mean,
It
you like you
is.
say, you're from the neighborhood. What side of the west side? West side.
I'm from
Yeah,
West Side,
yeah,
Joy
yeah.
Road, representative.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you grew up in Michigan. Uh, what did you really want to be? Did you want to be a comedian? Did you want it to go that route?
Hell no. Say no, excuse me. That was where the parental advisory came
It's
from in the
we
beginning of the
don't worry.
show.
Yeah, I
But
got all
no,
of that.
I did not. You know what? I wanted to be a lawyer. You know, I
Wow.
just wanted to do anything where I could talk a lot because I like to talk. So lawyer probably was it. I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
know. Honestly, I'm just joking there, but I really didn't even know that like being a comedian was a job. Like
Oh yeah,
honestly, like
yeah,
you look at comedy and
yeah,
I was never one of those people that was like a fan. Like some people studied it. It was just natural for me. I've always been goofy. I was goofy before being goofy was popular.
Okay.
Like that was cool. Back then I was just a goofy girl up the street that either you gonna laugh with me, I'm gonna beat your ass. So one or
Right.
the other. And then I ended up turning into a career. So people
Okay.
kept saying I missed my calling. And that's why
Right.
I tell people when you have a gift, sometimes your talent could be profitable. So always
Mhm.
don't never think of your hobbies or your gifts as nothing. Just
Right.
know that, you know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
make money at the things that you're good at. So
Right. 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 Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Whatever you that you're good at. Yeah. Exactly. You're exactly right about that. Um. You you had a career.
yeah,
And it was before all this. What made you had a 14-year career, and
I
what
had
was
a
the
great
career?
career.
And first question first. You had a 14-year career. What made you change your mind? What led you from that? What got you going?
Okay. So, it's like I said, it's an interesting story. I've always been a really happy, funny type of person. So, when I was a social worker, I was a children's protective services worker for the state of Michigan, which is a very
Mm-hmm.
difficult job. But
Mm-hmm.
anytime you can make you doing a children's protective service investigation, everybody in the house laughing, you own to something right there. So I was just the live wild one in the office, always making everybody laugh.
Right.
And it's actually funny because I had a tragic incident. So I always tell people turn your tragedy into triumph. And I try to be as motivational, as optimistic as possible. So I had an incident where I actually was jumped on, that's the hood word, but
Mm-hmm.
a physical altercation.
Right.
And at one time I was hanging with people that just wasn't encouraging my dream. So I would always say, "Oh, I want to try comedy." And they would say, "You goofy, but you're not funny like that." Once
Right.
that altercation happened, I separated from the people. It gave me confidence I didn't have when I was around them. One of my coworkers just so happened it was her hobby. She invited me to an open mic. And once that's why it's so important to surround yourself with certain types of people. Because once
People.
I
That's right.
separated from those people, because when I
Mm-hmm.
was with them, I didn't have the courage. I felt I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't confident in my abilities. Once I
Mm-hmm.
separated from them, I said, you know what? I'm at least try it. I did it one time, and I immediately knew that that was what I was born to do. I felt like
Right.
I was born to do this, and I never stopped doing it. I started putting a plan in motion. I was making $32 an hour. I was
Mm.
driving a state car. I went to work one day a week. I went into my this is before the pandemic. I
Right.
went to
Right.
work
Right.
one day a week. I drove a state car. I had a state phone, had a state laptop, $32 an hour, and I still quit it
Wow.
because in my spirit
Oh,
I felt like this is what I was meant to do. Let me
dude.
go after my dream. Yeah.
And you said something within what you just said to me, and I understand what you're saying. You said that the people that you was around wasn't the right people to be around. You see, and that's
Hmm.
what a lot of times, people, you have to change. It's not that you're better than them; you're changing. So you change for the better, and that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand or get. You know what I'm saying? And I hear this all the time uh from females and some males. They say, well, I can't find a mate. You might need to change it a little bit. If you're looking for that sexy or whatever person, you might not need to look for that type of person.
Well,
Because
help
those
me, D.Hall, because I'm lonely. So what you say? Stop looking. What you say? I'm listening to all of the advice that you giving right now.
what I'm saying is change what you're looking for. If you're looking for something spectacular, don't look for that. Look for something that's going to work for you. It could be somebody working at Walmart that you might not know nothing about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They might see you, but you don't see them.
The Walmart might have went a little to the left for me, but I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying if the person working at that, because you never know. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're right.
Love comes from every and from anyone that's right for you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I think that that's why, like I said, I wrote my first book
Right.
because I wanted to kind of inspire people and get them to understand that it's okay to reset.
Hmm.
Sometimes with, like, for instance, my mother had mental illness. Like I said, both of my parents spent a substantial amount of time in prison. I've never been in prison. I know so much about prison.
Right.
just because that was what they knew, and what it was they did the best that they could. So I grew up around a lot of my friends dropped out of school in middle school. I
Right.
still just chose to go. When I went to college, I saw something different, and that's when I realized how important it was, your association, because
Right.
that can make or break you. And I tell people, if you're the smartest, if you have the most money in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to
Hmm.
go somewhere where you can be inspired. Not That's where complacency comes in. And you have to
Hmm.
start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable with
Right.
in order to adjust. That's if you want it. Everybody don't want it. If you don't want
Right.
it, then that's okay. It's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Like, I have family members, they don't want that. They don't mind working every day 9 to 5. They happy with the way. But if you want something else, you need to pursue that and make sure you are around the greatness in that
That's
area
right.
where you want to be.
That's right. You got to go and get in a mix of
Hmm.
goodness, of greatness, and been to the top of the line, and that's what I pretty much do. I try to get into where I can go to these different events and meet these great people, and because you never know who's going to be there. It could be somebody with ESPN or NBC or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you're true to that. Lindell Jones says, "Make life better when you get from negative energy." He also says that person at Walmart might have what you need to grow. Don't look at that way.
You know what? I really was being comical, but what
Oh
I
yeah,
will say is this. This is
right,
what I will say. I
right,
never knock anyone for
right.
their employment, but let me say this.
Good.
It is not where you're at, it's where you have the potential to go.
Right, right.
And what I mean by that is a lot of times it's like you said, sometimes people they just looking at aesthetics. And
Mhm.
then they get home and realize this person can't help with the bills. This person don't, they fucking up my credit now. You know what I mean? This person, I'm with a man who don't know how to change a tire. Now I gotta call my daddy and look stupid. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
gotta be a
yeah,
little equally yoked.
yeah.
Meaning
Right.
that if
Yeah.
you're an entrepreneur, right, you need somebody who compliments that. They may
Right.
still go to work, but maybe they mail out your packages when they get home. Maybe they encourage you. But if you're an entrepreneur and you got somebody that's like, yo, that's stupid, you need to quit that and come over here with me. Maybe that's not the person for you. It may be a beautiful person for someone else, but not for you. I always say this:
Right.
oil and water are great ingredients, but together, oil and water don't mix.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
But
Okay.
they're great ingredients in other recipes or
Right.
alone.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. You're true. That doesn't mix. You're correct on
Mhm.
that. Um. What Lindell Jones says, "True that. I hear you." That's what he says. It's true to what
That's right,
you
Lindell. You know what I'm saying.
say. uh, we're gonna you graduated from college and you broke a curse. What curse? You talked about it a little bit, but tell me a little bit more about that curse that you broke.
Okay, so for instance, my grandmother went into a mental health institution when my mother was 2 years old, and my mother and her siblings were raised in foster care, which is one of the reasons why my mother had a lot of mental health problems and ended up
Hmm.
going to prison. My
Hmm.
father, the same way. My grandmother went to prison and was a street prostitute.
Oh
My
wow!
father went to prison for felonious assault, which was attempted murder, and dropped down. And
Right.
so that meant that when I came out, the likelihood that I was going to prison, I think the statistics are like 75% or something. When
Wow.
you have a child that comes from two parents, my mother did two bids and my father did one bid. So I think my father did like 7 years. My mother might have did like 10 altogether,
Are
between
you
the
sure?
time she went in.
You sure? You sure
Huh.
she did? Are you sure?
Yeah, she did too. She did two bids for sure.
Okay, I just
For
messing.
sure. My mother was a gangster. That's
Okay.
why. Trust me, everybody else was learning ABC. My mother was on them.
Right. Okay. Okay. I
But
think that. Okay, I got you.
like I said, uh so that's the curse that I broke because I felt
Okay.
like, I'm gonna go to college. I'm not gonna go to prison. My
Right.
son is, at an elite school and he knows nothing of the life that I grew up. So that's what I meant by breaking that curse. And there's a lot
Okay.
of people that give up on that and say, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. But I didn't want anybody to set the tone for me or make me feel away. I mean, I started smoking when I was 12,
Wow.
literally, like daily, like buying cigarettes and all kind of stuff.
Really?
And
Really?
I just was like, I don't want this type of life. Once I
Wow.
got around something better and I started to break that curse, I said, we'll never go
Great.
down that route. And whatever I have to do, I mean, I was uncomfortable a lot, y'all. Like
Wow.
I I didn't know what to do. I'm just sitting there. I wasn't really taught a lot of things. So it's a lot of things I have to learn on my own. And that's what
Hmm.
I mean by breaking the curse. Never let
Okay.
people tell you what you can be. You don't have to stay where you start. Well, I don't care if you 60 and now all of a sudden you ready to do something else. Then you
Different.
do
Yeah.
that.
There you
You know
go.
what I mean? It's
There you
just,
go.
it's, mm-mm.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
even, you don't have to be stuck. That's for me.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. And
So I'm
I
having a
believe
hard
in that.
time hearing too now.
I definitely believe in that because me and Jay York, matter of fact, Jay is on right now. He said, uh, T.BARB, yo, what's up, shawty? That's what he
I'm,
said. uh,
hold on.
Jay, did you hear me?
Can you hear
Jay's,
me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, I
can't
can hear
hear
you.
you.
You can't hear me? Oh, something's going
I don't
on.
know what happened. Let me see.
Yeah, let me make sure my mess is good here. I know my mess should be right. Yeah. I'm
I can't hear no more.
okay. Oh,
I,
shit.
I wonder, should I click and click? I don't
Yeah,
know.
come back.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna come right back.
Okay.
Be right back. This time to go to the bathroom.
There you go. Yeah. Had a little technical difficulties there. Oops. There's sometimes we have those things. Hang in here, young lady out of Detroit, Michigan, and it's Lindell said he could. Lindell, okay. Lindell said he can hear both of us. She said she couldn't hear, so it probably was something. Hey, okay, here we go. Let's get her back in here. Okay,
My apologies. I don't know what happened. I really couldn't hear you, but
it's
I
okay.
hope
It's okay.
everybody went to go pee pee. I'm back
They said they heard us, both of us. So you just
now. Okay.
couldn't hear.
I just couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
just couldn't hear me. Um, let's talk about a little bit about your comedian side. What do you love about it so much? What is it that keeps you rocking, man? You know what I'm saying? What keeps you going?
You know what? First off, I love what I do. Somebody asked me when would I retire? And I'm like, never. When you do something that you love, it's no thought. I have no, like when I was a social worker, it's like, I was like, yeah, you retire at 23 years. It's like you're counting down to retirement. With this, it's never a countdown. I love it so much. And I think that it just fits my personality. First off, I'm getting paid just for being me. Like,
Right.
where
Yeah.
does that happen?
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Second,
Yeah.
I love making people laugh. And especially right now, like everybody's so uptight. You know what I mean? Like you need to laugh. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with laughing. Comedy gives me, it's like almost like I have an alter ego. Like if you go on my Instagram, I am T.BARB, you're gonna be like, that's a whole nother voice because I have this whole different persona. Tiffany and T.BARB, two different people. So it gives
Right.
me a chance to
Exactly.
express what's on my mind, get
Mhm.
all the stress out, and
Mhm.
just be. I'm just goofy. I don't know where the hell the goof gene came from, but there's something wrong with me. And then I get to express it. Because if I act like this and I wasn't a comedian, you would be like, she's slow. So that's and I love it. And it's my 6th year. And I just think that I tell people, pray that God gives you, put you in the right places at the right time. Because
Right.
if I wouldn't have went, because I went from children protective service to adult, and that's why I met the girl that was the comedian.
Right.
When you doing what is your ordained destiny, God will lay the bricks before it'll be an unpaved road, and as you walk
Mhm.
it, God will lay a brick for you to step on at each moment.
Each
And
moment. That's
that's
right.
just how it's been. Like I don't care where I could be at the grocery store, and then somebody will be like, "I own a comedy club in aisle 5 out the blue." You be like, "Damn!" While I was getting asparagus, I love it. So that's when I was like, "Oh, this for me." Because
Yeah.
baby, God was laying them bricks. Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Okay, God. Look
He
at
will.
you, God. You
Yeah.
the God,
That's
you
right.
it. You the bottom, God.
And you're right. He will lay the bricks for you, and all
Won't
you
it?
got to do is step on it and keep moving upward. And I can attest to that for what for what me and Jay have done for the last 3 years, brick by brick by brick. Places where we go and things that we do. It's just it's a great thing, and once you apply yourself, God apply, he apply more to you. Um, Look, everything ain't good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Everything ain't good. What's the bad side of comedy?
Oh man, look at you. You had to get your Wendy Williams on, didn't you, DR? You had to dig, didn't
You
you?
know that. You know
No,
that.
you said it wouldn't be a show without that. No, you know what? It's like you said, it's the good and it's the bad to everything. And I think that first off, comedy is very competitive.
Right.
So what you notice is that for whatever reason, and this is just in life, people feel like maybe a missed opportunity for you means an opportunity for them. You
Right.
might block me for the opportunity and still don't get it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So
mhm.
it's stuff like that. As a woman in the industry,
Right.
underpaid
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
Sometimes I don't know
Yeah.
my male counterparts. I have to work twice as harder.
Hmm.
Even though I'm more funny than a lot of the men that I know, or a lot of the male comedians, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not
Hmm.
saying I'm funnier than everybody, not at all, because comedy is
Right.
subjective. But
Right.
I have had shows where I've outdone them, got paid less,
Oh
or
wow.
I had to be twice as funny to get people to laugh. I've seen
Wow.
guys come out and just say a couple things, and then I have to be twice as funny.
Oh wow.
You have to worry
Yeah.
about the promoters or people trying to talk
Mm.
to you. I've been blocked from work. It's places that will not book me because the promoter wanted to kick it on the phone or wanted to talk, and I didn't want to talk. I've been in positions where
Mm.
they think because they look good or they a man that I'm gonna work for them for free and they gonna talk to me on the phone all night, or you will have situations where you'll be working with somebody that's married and now they all in your face, now they wife looking at you and you like, come on, sir, be
Oh
professional.
wow.
So I mean it's a lot to it. And then you might go somewhere and they don't have your money. Oh,
Mm.
that's the worst. You didn't work, you
Ooh.
sweaty, you musty, they ain't got the money. You like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy me some deodorant with that money. It's so it be a lot of stuff like that. And it's hard to
Wow.
get started. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not necessarily an easy thing to monetize. You have to be very creative with
Yeah.
monetizing a comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm not on like when people see comedy, all they see is the end result. They don't see that Kevin Hart was doing talk shows like I am, or doing
Right.
shows, or going to bars. All they see is that now he at a stadium or arena. We're starting here, and I'm in Detroit. And I'm
Right.
gonna be honest, Detroit, or I ain't even gonna say Detroit. A lot of markets don't support their talent till they leave.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
get support. I consider myself the mayor here, but I feel like it's a shame that sometimes we have to step outside of our market and have another market value us,
Yes.
to be
Yes.
selected. So it's a lot of stuff and you got to keep your ego in check, because if you go on
Mm.
stage and you don't do well, you can't just quit and give up. You have to still
Right.
be prepared to say what, and you got to
Right.
look at the people. And now, well, I don't know how this feels because I'm that good. I'm scared. Woo! I done seen people had to do that walk of shame after did nobody laugh off that stage.
Yeah.
Cause
And that's
baby, if
yeah.
I can't make them laugh, I might whip a nipple out or something. I'm gonna win in either way.
You
Say
gonna
no,
get
just
you gonna
joking.
get
I'm just joking. I'm gonna get it.
uh, what you got a lot of young talent coming up in the world today. What would you say to the young talent of comedians that's coming up to keep them focused on the right track?
Well, I talk to them all the time. They call me auntie here. As I'm get to that auntie age, I know I'm talking about unk.
Right.
But what I will say is that if you gonna pursue it.
Right.
If you're gonna do it, do it. And what I mean by that is don't think that you could show up here and there every once in a while and think you're gonna be that good. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be dedicated to it. You have to be persistent. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be humble. This is a humble position. You have to keep
Mm-hmm.
your ego in check. Ain't no walking in thinking you the big person. You have to come in with an open mind, open heart, and just stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency, what you can't lose if you don't quit. If you
Right.
quit, you know what I mean? If you quit, you lose. But
Right.
as long as you keep trying, it may take 10 years, it may take 2 years, it may take 15 years. But
Right.
it'll work if you don't quit. So that's what I would tell.
I want to say hello to some people that I've just jumped in here. I probably they probably been on here for the last 15 minutes. Deborah Rim, I'd like to say hello to Deborah Rim. She's out of the
Hey,
North
Deborah.
Carolina.
Hey,
Ter-
Deborah.
Terry Moulton is in Detroit.
Where
Uh,
up, though, Terry?
uh, you said, what high school did you go to, Terry? Good point. Glad you brought it
Good point. See, Terry intro that y'all set that up, Don.
up. He's in Detroit. We all know the Stags, Mackenzie. Yeah.
I'm with to Mackenzie, and with the funniest part is when I was talking to Donnie, we both graduated from the same high
Same high
school.
school.
We are Mackenzie Stags. Like I said, I am Joy Road's finest Joy Road all day. I went to Barton, Drew, and Mackenzie, so
Oh
all of
yeah,
the neighborhood schools.
all the neighborhood. Yeah, I did
Hmm.
do. I graduated in 1986. Terry brought it up, and I graduated there. Both of my brothers are. Matter of fact, I called my brother tonight and told him that you was going to be on.
Uh-huh.
He's in Southfield. They moved over to out of Detroit over to Southfield, right across the street. You
Detroit
know,
Heights.
oh well, Southfield, Michigan. Well,
We
South.
call it no, we call it Detroit Heights. It's right
Oh,
there.
oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
It's a little nickname for it.
Okay. Like to say hello to Soul Chef. She's out of Washington D.C. She's going to be on next the 23rd. She's going to be up here. We're going to talk about food with her, and she's watching
What up,
also.
though?
Yeah, good to see you.
Talking food.
Also, Keith. Oh, what was that? Keith or Fred? He's out of New Jersey. He's been
Okay.
watching, and he's always around. A good friend of mine. Thank him for coming on and being a part of our show here.
Thank
Um,
y'all for listening.
Oh yeah, they're shooting up stars and hearts and all that good stuff right now. Um, here we go. Who inspired you? Did you have somebody to inspire you to do what you're doing? Or was it just something that you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna grab hold of these yokes and I'm gonna go with it"?
You know what was so crazy is first off, my father was extremely funny. Like he was so funny.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to do comedy. I just always was funny. After I
Oh,
started, let me tell you, this
let
is
me
how. Uh,
hold it just a second. I mean because
uh,
my brother is watching. Robert Hall. He's Southfield. He's coming in now. Michigan's come rocking right now. I want to say hello to him too. But go ahead, take T.
hey, Robert, what up, though? Um, So like I said, I didn't study comedy. It wasn't like I was a fan of comedy. I was just a goofy, funny
Right,
person. But it's so crazy. After I started comedy, my auntie ended up telling me that my great grandparents were famous comedians. Their name was Butterbeans and Susie, and they discovered Mom's Mabley. And
right.
so they were out of Chicago. And that's something I mean, they had told me about them, but that's something that my aunt really went into detail. She ended up making me some binders to show me their history, just to show that it was just in my blood. And
Right.
you think like stuff don't run in your family, sometimes it does. But as
Yeah.
far as who I love in comedy,
Mhm.
I am a red fox.
Well,
I
man,
I, I pattern my comedy. I would say Red Fox and Lucille Ball is who I
okay,
would say my
great,
major
great,
inspirations were. Yeah.
great. I want to say hello to. Oh man, they coming in. Latrell Knight. He's out of. Latrell is from Mississippi. He is a Southern soul artist, and he's
Hey,
stopping in.
Southern Soul, my Southern Soul family, they gonna be here, I think, Friday. Southern
Oh
Soul
really?
family. What up though?
Oh,
News and all of those guys. The legendary Willie Mack
oh,
is here.
well, okay. New Z. That's my guy. You know, that's how everything started between me and you. And
DJ
getting
Spoon is our Southern
this.
Soul DJ here in Detroit.
Yeah,
Shout
Latrell
out to
Knight says
DJ Spoon.
said it's all love from Mississippi. We appreciate you. He was the second person to ever come on my show, and that was 3 years ago. And
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, he's kind
Mississippi,
of.
but let me tell you this real quick. Let me
Go ahead, go ahead.
listen. I love Mississippi, but I can't stand it because baby, I lost every spelling bee. And that was always the trick word. Spell Mississippi. You be MISSISSSSI. Be to mess that up, baby. That make you Mississippi make you feel like you got a stuttering problem when you're trying to spell
It
M I
does.
S
It
S
really does.
S. Like, listen, I lost every time off of Mississippi. You owe me something to drink. Like,
Oh wow, yeah, Mississippi is something else. Here we go.
it
Look,
is.
you gotta, everybody's got to go. What is your goal for your career? What is your goal?
My goal for my career is short term. I really want to be on tour, so I
Oh,
did do a small tour. Actually, speaking of Mississippi, I gotta say this: I had a great friend of mine who is from Biloxi, Mississippi, who just passed. She was on the Chamber of Commerce. She was one of like the heavy hitters as far as black business in Mississippi out of Biloxi. Her name was CJ Shaw. So rest in peace to
Okay.
CJ, represent
Okay.
Mississippi. But
Right.
my goal, and I said that because I was coming through Biloxi at that time, but my goal this year is to actually go on a tour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking, and I'm one of them people, I'm not waiting for nobody to come get me. So if they come get me, that's fine. If they don't come get me, I'm going on tour anyway. So you
Right.
looking for dates, you're looking to book people, always holler at me. So that's my short term goal by the end of the year is to be on tour. And long term, I would really like television. I see myself acting, producing, and I also see myself making a way for other comedians. Like I have an entertainment company now, T.BARB Entertainment, and we've been
Okay.
booking comedians, bringing them to Detroit, K-Dub, Damon Williams. I brought
Okay.
Rodney
Okay.
Perry here. And
Rodney
we're
Perry.
bringing
Yeah.
people, yep. And I want to make a way for new and up and coming because another thing about comedy is we don't have that comic view like they did or Def Jam, those
Right.
those
Right.
comedy
Yeah.
shows that put your everyday local comedian in the forefront and let you know how funny they were. So I would
Right.
love to be on the forefront of providing opportunities for other people like me to be
Mm.
seen and for their talent to be heard on a bigger platform.
Right. Right. You know what? You're a jack of many trades. You have a
I do
lot of
everything.
trades that you do. I mean, and I'm gonna speak on those trades. You're an actress. You're a chef. You're author. You're a producer, and etc. How do you juggle all that? And how do you do that? Being a maybe you're a superwoman. Maybe that's
I
what
ain't
it
got
is.
no man. Like, no, let me stop. I know. So no, well, um, so and speaking of, so yeah, because I got two books. I got the Hood Rat Kitchen.
There
That's
you
the
go.
vegan cookbook.
Okay.
Because I am a vegan. Don't ask me how that happened because I grew up eating whatever, but that's a whole nother story.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you know what? I can never do one thing at one time. Always has to be multitasking. Um, I try to like my son, I'm a single mom, so I definitely try to prioritize my son, even if that's taking him to school every day, that's our time to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
He's in a choir, he's a boxer, he makes beats, he's
He's a
like a mini
boxer.
me.
Stop the
He's a
press.
boxer. Yes. He's boxing
Okay.
with Tony Harrison at Super Badge.
Is he?
So I don't know if you guys, yeah. So he's a
How is?
boxer. He played the guitar, he got private guitar lessons, he's in the choir, and he's on
Wow.
the football team.
What is
And he's
he?
15 and
How
he
old
got
is
a job.
he? How old is
15.
he? 15?
15. And he has a part-time job. Oh, he doing a little too much. So, um, I try to like we do stuff like we rap together and I incorporate that in my comedy. Like if you go on my Instagram page or comedian T-Bar on TikTok, you'll see mommy son rap challenges. If I'm
Okay.
producing something, my son is the production assistant. So he's usually on set with me if I'm doing something like that. So that gives me a
Wow.
chance to bond with him and also produce and get free help. Free child labor is the stuff, y'all. It's so free and it's so
You
good.
work the system.
Um, Work the system. Like as far as the cooking thing,
Mm.
I love like I have a hot dog cart, y'all. So don't even trip. I got a delicious dogs. I've been running it for 16
Really?
years. Yeah. So
No,
I've hired
I love
people.
a hot
Y'all
dog.
can hit me up, Delicious Dog 313. We was
Oh
downtown
wow.
Detroit for 14 years. So that's my
Really?
first business I ever had. Yeah.
Okay.
Was selling
Okay.
hot dogs. And listen, and I'm a vegan who sell hot dogs. I don't get half my own supply. That's what I say. Uh,
You gonna
but
sell it to me though, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, all the sauces you want. Pork, beef, turkey, whatever you want. Okay, me,
Whatever I
I'm
want.
gonna eat clean. Yeah, I got you.
I
All the
can dig
grease
it.
you need.
I can dig it.
All the
I
grease,
can dig it.
nachos, whatever.
I can
Um,
dig it.
but it's just multitasking and it's prioritizing your day. And one
Right.
thing I do is I make a to-do list probably every morning that I wake up
Okay.
of just because I have a home health agency as well. And
Great.
I have a nonprofit, a 501c3 T
Man,
Barber
you're just
friend.
all over the
So
place.
I know, right? Um, I just try and prioritize, and you can do it. You get up in the morning and you write down what you have to do, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like T.
Yeah.
Barber Friends, the president is Yolanda Johnson, a great
Mhm.
person, a philanthropist. So I let her handle that, give her my vision, and trust in her to ensure that the vision, her and Jack Llewellyn, I have a partner in this. Sometimes, especially in the black culture, we don't like to partner. You got to be careful with partnerships, but sometimes they can help you do a little bit more. And
More. Yeah.
residual, you need to be residual. some things you need to be able to sell while you're not there. It's
Mm.
no way to possibly sell. So my books online on my website, we might mail those out once a week. They're selling without me even being there. www.tbarb.isfunny.com. That's if you want to buy one. You know I had to throw that out. tbarb.isfunny.com, right? Um,
Right.
so we selling books. I mean, it gets hard, but it can be done. And you just have to
Good.
prioritize. Go to
Right.
bed, take your ass to sleep. I know some people want to be up all night on the
Night.
don't be on the gram unless you making some money on the gram. Prioritize. Say in your mind, I'm gonna spend an hour or two on social media. I'm gonna spend an
Mm-hmm.
hour reading. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
dedicate an hour to this. You have to
Mm.
be structured. Just like when you're
Definitely.
working for a job. When I was working for the state, it was structured. We gotta be
Right.
there at 8. At 12, we gotta check in. At 3, hold yourself to those same standards that you let other people hold
Right.
you to.
Right.
And
And
you
that's
can
what
get
I
it
do.
done.
Yeah, that's what I
Hmm.
do. Me and Jay York, we built this program and we do it the same way. I mean, we change it up, we're growing, but we keep it structured just like you said. And we keep it that way because this is the format that we built it off of. And I understand exactly what you're saying about that. I want to say hello to Tim Hill Sr. He was a professional boxer that was on with us last Sunday. No, 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 this
Hey
Sunday.
Tim,
Yeah,
Tim probably got
yeah,
a little body. He a
yeah. Well,
boxer, got a little
West
body.
Virginia, come out of West Virginia there. So
Okay, Tim, all
yeah,
right with the body.
hype man Marshall Jr. Now he's somebody new. I don't. He just jumping in. Hello
What
to
up,
you, brother.
hype man? What up, though? We
have
welcome
you
everybody.
have you ever got booed off
Hmm.
the stage? Have you ever got booed off stage?
No, I've had a bad night, but I've never got booed. Praise
Wow.
God.
Okay. What
But
you?
I've had a night where so we have my mentor. His name is Kool Aid. He's a
Okay.
Detroit legend. He's legendary on tour with Lil Duval. He passed away from cancer a couple years ago, but he
Right.
gave me an opportunity, and that's why sometimes sometimes you're not ready for the opportunities you think you're ready for, right?
Wow.
Everybody wants to be in this limelight. Some of us ain't ready. That's just like with a boxer. You may think you ready, and then when you get your ass knocked out, you're like, I wasn't ready. So what happened was, I was funny, I was killing it, but I had never been around in front of hundreds of people. I
Right.
only did 50, 60, and he gave me an opportunity to be in front of 350 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute I got up there, I kind of froze. I
Right.
kicked my first joke off, and after that, it was like I could remember the second one. And I
Oh
mean, I
wow.
kept it going. I didn't stop. But one thing about comedy, silence probably worse than the book in
Mm,
comedy. For the
mm.
for the audience not to say a goddamn thing, just say boo. Matter of fact, yeah, boo me.
Boo.
Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make me feel better. At least I can get off the stage. Y'all
Stage.
gonna make me keep on telling this and not
Right.
make a noise? Oh, it's just
Right.
torture.
Yeah,
So
that
that
yeah,
was my worst experience. That's worse than the boo. Cause now
right.
you still gotta tell the jokes. At least the boo, you got a way out. The
Right.
silence, you got 12 more minutes
Oh,
to
wow.
go.
And you know what? Silence is a killer, even in everyday life.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
You're right. You're right. Silence is a killer. Because people can run their mouth and talk, talk, talk. If you quiet, you're killing them. Because you're killing them.
I'm
You're
like,
right.
why are they still paying attention if they don't like? So but this was in the beginning. I probably was 6 months old in comedy, but I learned the lesson though. I did. I learned the lesson,
Good.
and
Good.
I learned to just prep myself. When it's your first time in front of that many people,
Hmm.
you got to be prepared for possibly not being able to handle that. Of course, now I got it. I've done that several times, but my first time in front of that many people, I forgot everything. I'm like, huh?
Right.
What's my mama name? I don't know.
Don't know, right? Right, right. And then I know that was like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
And we
Uh,
did 2 shows, and let me tell you something about Kool-Aid. He said, oh, I said, dang, he ain't gonna let me do the second show. He said, what you thought? You doing that second show? The second show I did much better, but that first show, oh my God. I was like, Jesus.
right,
I didn't want to do the second show. But
right.
I'm glad I had somebody like that with me to say, hey, nah, you ain't about to give up. You should have learned from the first show. Now
That's
you
the
should
worst show.
kill this second show. So and
Wow.
I did way better. So
Great, great. You did an excellent job. You know, I really appreciate you coming on. We're live right now. We're shooting this thing into YouTube and all over Facebook. And I thank you for coming in and joining us tonight, being a part of what me and Jay do here. Jay is the man that did your promos and intros and all that. He's
Hey,
somewhere
Jay.
he's somewhere watching you, and I really appreciate you coming on.
I'm trying to
And we
laugh
got
in my mug.
yeah, I'll be there. I'm coming there in Easter. So, I'll be around there Easter time. So I'll contact you, um, and we'll go for there. But I really I appreciate you for coming on. Check this out though. What does the D Hall People Show in conjunction with J York Productions mean to you?
It means everything to me. Gee, the way that you guys welcome me. No, honestly, it really does. And I appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate the platform that you're establishing for artists like myself to be known. I'm from Detroit to reach other people.
Right,
And it's so important. And I hope that people continue to watch, continue to promote, continue to support, and understand that it's people like you that help uplift other people to the next level in their careers.
that's great.
Even if that's interviewing, that's
Right,
getting them out. I made a few new fans that I didn't have, or a few people in
there you
different
go.
districts know my name. So that's very important, and I appreciate what you guys are doing and all the quality work that you guys are doing.
Well, I appreciate New Z Williams for contacting me and getting you on, and we have, like I said, we had the Michigan connection there, and it's a wonderful thing. Any questions that you want to ask me?
Okay, yeah, I do. Just because you know how I'm people who like to talk just gonna ask questions just because.
Right.
What made you start doing the D Hall show?
Um. Well, two things. First of all, my grandfather was on the radio for over 30 years in North Carolina at WELS radio, and I watched him as a little kid. I grew up and watched him there and doing his thing every Sunday morning at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's in me to do what I'm doing now. Secondly, my best friend, which is in Michigan, he's in Michigan right now, Terrell Gilmore, and he wanted to be a professional boxer, and I wanted to actually act. In my last year at McKenzie High School, I performed a play, The Soldier Story, and it was the first time that we connected with Farmington Hills, one of the Farmington Hills schools. We connected together and to perform the play. So then I wanted to be an actor. That's what I wanted to be, but I changed it and throughout the years, and I'm 50 54 now, and I wanted that's what I wanted to be, but I saw my grandfather talking and being on the radio a lot, so I just combined everything together, and I told my best friend, I said, "You want to be a boxer, and I want to be an actor. One of us is going to make it," and he didn't make it, but I
Okay.
kept going.
Okay, okay. Well, that's a great story. At least it
Yeah.
wasn't you that didn't make it. So no, I'm sorry. Shout out to your
And I
best
just,
friend. I had to
but he,
throw that out
yeah,
there. I'm
yeah,
saying
it's good. I knew that was
somebody
coming.
needed to make it.
Somebody make it, yeah. And he
Somebody,
took, yeah,
anybody, who
right,
gonna
right.
make it? Yeah.
Somebody, that's right, that's right. So he cheers me on. He said, "Man, you're great. You're doing a wonderful job." He sees my shows all the time. He said, "You have it, and you just that way." I said, "You got to be a people person for number one. You got to be a people person,
Yeah, you
So
definitely have a voice for radio for sure.
yeah, thank you so much. But look, Barb, it's been great. I thank you for coming in and being a part of what we do here with me and Jay, and we thank you so much. Hopefully, we can get you back on. Definitely, I'll contact you when I touch down.
Give me back on any time. And if anybody's on TikTok, it's comedian
Oh yeah.
TBARB. If
Oh
you're on
yeah.
Instagram, I am T.BARB. Website is TBARB is funny.com. You can get the books, the Hood Rat Kitchen Vegan Cookbook, the Faith Over Fear Tells Retired Hood Rat. Any of my merch, you can see where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be in California. So if anybody's out there, I'll be in LA April 3rd at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. I'm gonna have
Wow.
plenty of shows here in Detroit. So just check me out. Keep up with me. I got a part two finesse, which is on Tubi at the end of the show. I have a 30-minute special on Amazon Prime called Getting Off GETTINOFF. So just check out anything. If you in Detroit, I was in Our Detroit magazine, so make sure you get the September issue. And
Great.
thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you
And
so much.
hopefully y'all keep up with me. I'm gonna keep up with y'all. and tune into the D.Hall show each and every week.
There you go. Thank you so much,
There you go.
Barb.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Appreciate
All
it.
right, y'all. All right, there we go. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see y'all. Yeah, the 23rd, possibly Sunday though. But I'll be back with my girl. She's gonna be cooking some food. That was my guest from Michigan, and I appreciate her for coming on. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, I'll see you later. D.Hall, we out.
You got it locked with D.Hall on the weekend, baby. Ready? Initiate a J. York production. J. York production. J. York production.
You are in the mix with D.Hall and the People's Show. This is a J. York production.
Facebook family.
Another day.
Hey, I'm Ashley Braswell, a local comedian from Charlotte.
The announcer Walter Waite.